Exodus 16:11. And the Lord said to Moses, I have heard the grumbling of the people of Israel. Say to them, at twilight you shall eat meat, and in the morning you shall be filled with bread. Then you shall know that I am the Lord your God. In the evening, quail came up and covered the camp, and in the morning, dew lay around the camp. And when the dew had gone up, there was on the face of the wilderness a fine, flake-like thing, fine as frost on the ground. When the people of Israel saw it, they said to one another,
Well, what is it?
For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them,
It is the bread that the Lord has given you to eat. This is what the Lord has commanded. Gather it, each one of you, as much as you can eat. You shall each take an omer, according to the number of persons that each of you has in his tent.
and the people of Israel did so. They gathered some more, some less. And when they measured it with an omer, whoever gathered much had nothing left over, and whoever gathered little had no lack. Each of them gathered as much as he could eat. And Moses said to them,
Let no one leave any of it over till the morning.
but they did not listen to Moses. Some left part of it till the morning, and it bred worms and stank. And Moses was angry with them. Morning by morning, they gathered it, each as much as he could eat. But when the sun grew hot, it melted. On the sixth day, they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omers each. And when all the leaders of the congregation came and told Moses, he said to them,
This is what the Lord commanded. Tomorrow is the day of solemn rest, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Bake what you will bake, and boil what you will boil, and all that is left over lay aside to be kept till the morning.
So they laid it aside till the morning, as Moses commanded them, and it did not stink, and there was no worms in it. Moses said,
Eat it today, for today is the Sabbath to the Lord. Today you will not find it in the field. For 6 days you shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath, there will be none.
on the 7th day, some of the people went out to gather, but they found none. And the Lord said to Moses, how long will you refuse to keep my commandments and my laws? See, the Lord has given you the Sabbath. Therefore, on the 6th day, he gives you bread for 2 days. Remain each of you in this place. Let no one go out of this place on the 7th day. So the people rested on the 7th day. Now, the house of Israel called its name manna. It was like coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like wafers made with honey. Moses said,
This is what the Lord has commanded. Let an omer of it be kept throughout your generations, so that they may see the bread which I fed you in the wilderness when I brought you out of the land of Egypt.
And Moses said to Aaron,
Take a jar and put an omer of manna in it, and place it before the Lord to be kept throughout all your generations.
as the Lord commanded Moses. So Aaron placed it before the testimony to be kept. I wonder if anyone's got some of that stuff. It's supposed to be handed on to generation to generation, forever and ever. Has anyone got any manna? Let me know in the comments. You got some manna? Let me know. So people of Israel ate the manna for 40 years till they come to be a habitable land. They ate the manna till they came to the border of the land of Canaan.
An omer is the 10th part of an ephah.
Just so you know. Chapter 17. All the congregation of the people of Israel moved on from the wilderness of sin by stages, according to the commandment of the Lord, and camped at Rephidim. But there was no water for the people to drink. Therefore the people quarreled with Moses and said, Give us water to drink. And Moses said to them,
Why do you quarrel with me? Well, why do you test the Lord?
But the people thirsted there for water. And the people grumbled against Moses and said, Why do you bring us out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our livestock with thirst? So Moses cried to the Lord,
What shall I do with these people? They are all ready to stone me.
And the Lord said to Moses, Pass on before the people, taking with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. Behold, I will stand before you there on the rock of Horeb, and you shall strike the rock, and water shall come out of it, and the people will drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel, and he called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the quarreling of the people of Israel, and because they tested the Lord by saying,
Is the Lord amongst us or not?
The Amalek came and fought with Israel at Rephidim. So Moses said to Joshua,
Choose for us men and go out and fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill with the staff of God in my hand.
So Joshua did as Moses told him and fought with Amalek, while Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. Whenever Moses held up his hand, Israel prevailed, and whenever he lowered his hand, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands, they grew weary, so they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it, while Aaron and Hur held up his hands, one on one side and the other on the other side. So his hands were steady until the going down of the sun. And Joshua overwhelmed Amalek and his people with the sword. Then the Lord said to Moses, Write this as a memorial in a book and recite it in the ears of Joshua, that I will utterly blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven.
He's going to blot it out, the memory of Amalek. But we're reading about it. I remember them now. But he was going to blot it out. It's a bit weird. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it, "The Lord is my banner," saying, "A hand upon the throne of the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation."